Oh, hi there. You caught me painting miniatures in a hotel room in Korea. How did we get here, you might ask? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Corner Case. You're in the Korea corner. I'm your host, your 28-step skin routine, and your best friend, Deck. And here we are in a hotel room. Why are we here? We're on a business trip. Of course, no business trip is complete without painting miniatures. So, believe it or not, this type of situation was actually very common for me, especially pre-pandemic. I would often find myself on these business trips, and of course, I would bring my miniatures with me. In this particular case, this is probably the fourth or fifth time I've been to Korea. I've done my fair share of exploring, so I knew that especially on this trip, I would probably want to stay in the hotel, safe from the COVID, having fun painting. First, I want to share my setup. So what I brought with me was I brought a backpack, a check-in luggage, and a carry-on luggage. You'll see here first in the check-in bag, I have the lamp, I have a wet palette, and I have my paints. This is very strategic. You cannot bring, especially flying in the US, you can't bring fluids over 1 ounce, I believe, inside of your carry-on bag. And that's exactly what all these little paint bottles are. So those must go in the check-in bag. I think interesting for you guys to see is the lamp. So I did actually bring like a couple pairs of shoes with me. I've already unpacked those, obviously, but the lamp folds down like very nicely, and you'll see that it is working in the video. So no damage there. And all it had between it was just like a couple layers of clothes on both sides, folds down flat. So I have found that in the past, I remember one trip a few years ago, I flew to China. I did not bring my own lighting. I thought I did real good on some Death Guard models, and very quickly found out the next morning that I did not do that good because my lighting was not consistent. So nowadays, when I go and fly and I bring my miniatures with me, I always bring this light because it at least provides me with a standard way to see the colors and the paints. I think some of you may have like the fold down light box, and if you don't mind painting in that light box kind of space, that thing folds down pretty nicely too. But for me, I find that the lamp is like pretty sweet because I do tend to paint standing up or arms flying. I'm definitely not a ninja and Miniac disciplined wrists on the table painter. So I do prefer this light setup, but I thought that would be interesting for you guys to see. Now, if you look in my carry-on bag, this is where I brought my camera gear and my miniatures. So I'm opening up this bag for you. What you'll see is, oh, look, see, the first thing is a CO-cast miniature, is the new Marut, completely fine, no damage. Some other metal models in here. I brought my paintbrushes. You'll find that there's some in the tubes, some not in the tubes, and those were all perfectly fine. And as I reveal the models underneath, I've decided to bring my Forco with me, foreign company for Infinity, wanted to get some work done there. All those models are completely fine inside of this felt hair bag. So that all fit very nicely within my carry-on bag with like absolutely no issues whatsoever. So very nice setup. Very compact setup, and if I even just paint like a couple minis this weekend, I'll be pretty happy. So now you'll see my finished setup. It takes up, small part of the desk setup, and it's pretty sweet with the wet palette, with the paints. I have my access to Kleenex here, so that'll be like my paper towel situation, and it's pretty nice. It's like definitely cleaner than what I've got going on back home. I told you I'm painting my Forco. I've already Greeked in colors for Senior Massacre. I have both for Forco, the Soldiers of Fortune. I have both the N4 Infinity versions and I have the Aristea versions. I still need to pick up that last other version of Senior Massacre that I don't have, but I really love the Senior Massacre model. I love Deadpool, so I think I plan on painting this model a couple different ways. You can see on the Aristea model here, I've already begun like Punisher route, so pretty stoked about that. But I decided at least for like the main version of Senior Massacre, I would go like full-blown Deadpool. So full-blown Deadpool, here it is. I'm also painting some other character models. So Valkyrie, I really love this Valkyrie model. Decided to go, I think I'm gonna go slightly Power Rangers themed with my Forco army because I like the idea that it's characters, the faction, and then also I'm painting this HVT from the Blackwind Dire Foes box, which I have been proxying Pandora with. So pretty excited. So this is my setup. I thought you guys might find it interesting. And I wanted to share one last thing, which is I did spend some time in Seoul. In the past, I did not spend time looking for miniatures stores, but this time I did. There were a couple more hobby shops that I did not have time to go to, but here is at least one. I visited Orktown, which is a Warhammer store. We've made it. We are at Orktown. It is an online store, and this is the pickup location. So I'm not sure exactly how big it's going to be or what I'm going to see, but we're gonna check it out. Let's go. In Seoul, in a very cool neighborhood. This is Hapjeong. I also was able to go to a metal show here, so that was like pretty fun. The Korean metal scene was awesome, and the quality of painted miniatures you'll see here at the Hapjeong Orktown store are pretty nice. There's like this NMM on. I know it's a Necron model, but I I don't know. Void Dragon? I don't know. It's a chrome dude. You know I'm all about it. So yeah. So I hope seeing my setup inspired you to stay indoors even while traveling and enjoy the miniature painting hobby wherever you may be. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. 감사합니다. Please like and subscribe and join the Discord if you would like to. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters, and we'll see you next time.
Only in death does subscribing end!